At 75, I have simplified my life, slowed down, and letting go. As I sit on my porch in the quiet glow of a late afternoon, reflecting on my life, I realize how much has changed and how much I've changed. At 75, life looks different from when I was 30, 50, or even 60. The frantic pace I once kept now feels unnecessary. I've come to embrace a life that is slower, simpler, and free from the burdens I once carried. This journey hasn't been easy, but it's been deeply fulfilling. I'd like to share some lessons I've learned along the way in hopes they might resonate with you. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. Simplifying life, a gift to yourself. Simplifying life is not just about decluttering your home or your surroundings. It's a profound act of self-care. It's about giving yourself permission to let go of what no longer serves you, both physically and emotionally, to create space for what truly matters. At 75, I've learned that simplicity is a form of wisdom. It allows us to focus on the essence of life, to distill our days into moments that hold genuine meaning. For much of my life, I thought possessions were symbols of success. I filled my home with things I believed would bring happiness: furniture, collectibles, clothes for every occasion. These objects, while cherished at the time, gradually became a source of burden. They required maintenance, organization, and emotional energy, often tying me to a past I was no longer living. The turning point came when I realized I was spending more time caring for my possessions than enjoying my life. The act of simplifying didn't come easily. Letting go can feel like losing a part of yourself: memories tied to an old photo album, the aspirations attached to an unworn suit, the comfort of holding on to items just in case. But as I sorted through my belongings, I asked myself hard questions. Does this item still bring me joy? Does it reflect the person I am today or the person I was yesterday? With each decision to release something, I felt lighter, freer, more at peace. Simplicity, however, goes beyond the material. It's also about decluttering your mind and heart. Over the years, I carried the weight of expectations, some self-imposed, others placed on me by society or loved ones. I believed I had to achieve certain milestones, be the perfect parent, or live up to roles I had outgrown. But as I've aged, I've come to understand that life is not a checklist. It's not about what you accomplish or accumulate. It's about how fully you live. Simplifying my inner world meant forgiving myself for past mistakes and releasing the guilt that no longer had a purpose. It meant accepting that some relationships would fade and others would flourish. It meant learning to say no to commitments that drained me and yes to the things that filled me with energy and purpose. In the process of simplifying, I discovered a surprising truth. The less I held on to, the more I had. The fewer possessions cluttered my space, the more room I had for meaningful moments: quiet mornings on the porch, afternoons spent with a good book, laughter shared with friends. When my schedule wasn't overflowing with obligations, I had the freedom to explore hobbies I had long set aside, like gardening and painting. These simple pleasures brought me a sense of fulfillment that no material possession ever could. If you're considering simplifying your life, start with one small step. Choose a single drawer or shelf, a single thought or regret, and ask yourself what you truly need to hold on to. Letting go is not about loss. It's about liberation. It's about making room for the things that align with your values and bring you closer to the life you want to live. Now, my days feel richer, not because I have more, but because I've embraced less. The gift of simplicity is clarity. It allows you to see life for what it is: a series of fleeting, beautiful moments, best enjoyed without the weight of unnecessary burdens. At 75, I've found that the most valuable treasures are not things I can hold in my hands, but the peace and joy I carry in my heart. And that, I believe, is the greatest gift we can give ourselves. Two, slowing down, savoring the present. In the rush of youth, life feels like a constant race, a race to achieve, to acquire, to reach the next milestone. But as the years pass, the frantic pace begins to lose its appeal. At 75, I've discovered the profound beauty of slowing down. Life isn't a race to be won, it's a journey to be savored. And the most meaningful moments often reveal themselves only when we have the courage to pause. Slowing down doesn't mean surrendering to idleness or ceasing to care about the world around us. On the contrary, it's about choosing to live deliberately, to immerse ourselves fully in the moments that matter. In my younger years, I often rushed through life, always looking ahead to the next task, the next opportunity. I thought productivity equaled success. And in the process, I overlooked the quiet joys unfolding in the present. Slowing down has taught me that it's not about how much you do, but about how deeply you experience what you do. Now, I start my mornings with intention. I linger over a warm cup of tea, savoring its aroma and the way the steam curls into the air. I listen to the birds outside my window and let their songs remind me of nature's rhythm, steady, unhurried, timeless. These small rituals ground me, reminding me that the simplest moments can hold the most profound peace. One of the greatest joys of slowing down is reconnecting with nature. A walk in the park isn't just exercise, it's an invitation to notice the world around me. I see the sunlight filtering through the trees, feel the crunch of leaves beneath my feet, and marvel at the resilience of the flowers pushing through the soil. Nature moves at its own pace, and it gently reminds me to do the same. There's no rush in the turning of the seasons, no urgency in the rising and setting of the sun. By aligning myself with this natural rhythm, I've found a deeper sense of harmony and contentment. Slowing down also means being present with the people I love. In my earlier years, I often let the demands of work or routine overshadow the importance of connection. But now, when I sit with my family or friends, I'm fully there. I put away distractions, listen with my whole heart, and treasure the laughter, the stories, and even the silences we share. These moments of presence are what truly deepen our relationships and remind us of the richness of human connection. There's also a spiritual dimension to slowing down. It's about finding time to reflect, to breathe, and to simply be. In the stillness, I've come to appreciate life's mysteries and accept its uncertainties. Meditation and quiet contemplation have become as essential to me as food and water. They provide clarity and peace, helping me let go of worries about the past and anxieties about the future. In these moments, I feel connected to something greater than myself, a profound sense of belonging in the grand tapestry of life. Slowing down is not always easy in a world that glorifies busyness and measures worth by output. It takes effort to resist the pull of constant activity and the illusion that doing more equates to living more. But I've learned that the richest lives are often the simplest. It's not about how much you fill your days, but how much your days fill you. As I move through this chapter of my life, I've come to see slowing down as an act of gratitude. By choosing to savor the present, I honor the gift of time, the moments that are fleeting but precious, the hours that once seemed endless but are now finite. Every breath, every heartbeat, every sunrise is a reminder that life is a series of fleeting miracles. When we slow down, we give ourselves the chance to truly see them, to let them fill us with wonder and joy. At 75, I no longer feel the need to rush. I've learned that life unfolds in its own time, and that by slowing down, we allow ourselves to be fully present in the beauty of each moment. It's a lesson I wish I'd embraced sooner, but one I carry with me now like a treasure into every quiet morning and every peaceful evening. And in the stillness, I found not only myself, but the true essence of life, a tapestry woven with love, presence, and gratitude. Three, letting go, lightening the load. Letting go is one of life's most difficult, yet most liberating lessons. At 75, I have come to see it not as a loss, but as a profound act of self love and acceptance. It is a way of making peace with the past, releasing what no longer serves us, and creating space for joy and growth in the present. Letting go is not about forgetting, it is about choosing freedom over the burdens we carry. For much of my life, I clung tightly to things, people, and expectations. I held on to old photographs thinking they kept me connected to a time long gone. I clung to relationships that had faded, fearing the loneliness of letting them go. And perhaps most painfully, I held on to regrets, words I wished I'd spoken, actions I wished I'd taken, and moments I wished I could relive. These things, though intangible, weighed heavily on my heart. They took up space that could have been filled with lightness, peace, and possibility. The journey of letting go began slowly. I, I started with the physical, sorting through drawers of belongings, deciding what to keep and what to release. At first, it was difficult. Every item seemed to whisper a memory. But as I let go of one thing after another, I felt lighter. I realized that memories are not tied to objects. They live within us, carried in our hearts and minds. Releasing these items was not a loss, but a gift, allowing me to focus on the present rather than clinging to the past. The real challenge came with letting go of emotional and mental clutter. I had to confront the expectations I had placed on myself to always be strong, to never make mistakes, to meet every need of those around me. These expectations were impossibly high, and they left little room for self-compassion. Learning to let go meant accepting that I am human, that imperfection is part of the beauty of life, and that it is okay to prioritize my own well-being. One of the most profound acts of letting go was forgiving, both others and myself. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning hurtful actions or forgetting the pain they caused. It means releasing the hold those experiences have on us. For years, I carried resentment toward people who had wronged me, thinking that holding on to anger would somehow protect me. But I've learned that holding on to resentment is like carrying a stone in your heart. It only weighs you down. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It is a gift you give yourself, a way of setting yourself free. Letting go also means releasing control. In my younger years, I believed I had to plan everything, to shape my life with certainty and precision. But life has its own rhythm, its own unpredictable flow. Trying to control every aspect of it is exhausting and ultimately impossible. Now, I have learned to trust the process, to let life unfold as it will. This doesn't mean passivity. It means embracing the uncertainty with grace and curiosity. As I have let go, I've discovered something unexpected. The more I release, the more I gain. Letting go of regrets has opened the door to gratitude. By releasing old dreams that no longer align with who I am, I've made space for new passions and possibilities. And by shedding the need to be everything to everyone, I've found the freedom to simply be, to enjoy the person I am today. Letting go is not a one-time act. It is a practice, a mindset. Each day, I ask myself, what can I release today? What weight can I put down so I can walk through life with greater ease? Some days, it's a small thing, a worry about tomorrow, a lingering frustration from the past. Other days, it's something larger, a long-held belief or an outdated role I no longer need to play. With each act of letting go, I feel a sense of renewal, as if I am shedding layers to reveal the truest version of myself. At 75, I no longer see letting go as something to fear. It is an act of courage, a way of embracing the freedom that comes with age. By releasing what no longer serves me, I have found space for what truly matters: love, joy, and peace. Letting go has not only lightened my load, but also illuminated my path, allowing me to move forward with an open heart and a sense of wonder for what lies ahead. And in this freedom, I have discovered the greatest gift of all: the ability to fully live. 4. The power of relationships. As I reflect on my 75 years, it is clear to me that the most enduring and meaningful parts of life are not found in achievements, possessions, or accolades. They are found in relationships. The people we choose to surround ourselves with, the bonds we nurture, and the connections we create define us more deeply than anything else. At this stage of my life, relationships have become my greatest treasure, offering love, purpose, and a profound sense of belonging. In my earlier years, I often took relationships for granted. Life was busy, and there was always something more pressing: a deadline at work, a household chore, a personal ambition. I assumed there would always be time for a phone call, a visit, or a kind word. But time has a way of humbling us, of teaching us that relationships, like gardens, require attention and care to thrive. Neglected relationships may fade, but those tended with love and intention flourish, bringing beauty and joy to our lives. I've learned that relationships are not about quantity, but quality. It's not the number of people in your life that matters, it's the depth of connection you share with them. Over the years, I've let go of superficial ties and focused on cultivating meaningful bonds. Whether it's with family, old friends, or new acquaintances, these relationships are built on mutual respect, understanding, and love. They are not always easy. Sometimes they require patience, forgiveness, and vulnerability, but they are always worth it. One of the most significant lessons I've learned is the power of presence. In a world filled with distractions, being fully present with someone is one of the greatest gifts you can give. When I sit with my grandchildren, I put aside my phone and listen to their stories with undivided attention. When I catch up with old friends, I savor the conversation, cherishing the shared laughter and the quiet moments. Presence is a way of saying, "You matter. You are valued." Relationships also require effort and intention. They are not something to be taken for granted or placed on autopilot. I make it a point to stay connected with the people who matter most. Sometimes this means picking up the phone and calling a friend I haven't spoken to in years. Other times, it's writing a letter or sending a small gift just to let someone know I'm thinking of them. These gestures may seem small, but they carry immense meaning. They remind us and those we care about that we are not alone. As I've grown older, I've come to appreciate the importance of forgiveness in relationships. Holding on to grudges or past grievances only creates distance and pain. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or condoning hurtful actions. It means choosing to move forward without the weight of resentment. It is a way of healing, both for ourselves and for our relationships. Some of the most profound reconnections in my life have come after moments of forgiveness where pride was set aside in favor of love and understanding. I've also learned that relationships are not just about what we receive, but what we give. In my earlier years, I often thought about what others could offer me: support, advice, companionship. But as I've aged, I've found more joy in what I can offer to others. Whether it's sharing a piece of wisdom, offering a listening ear, or simply being there in times of need, giving has brought me a deeper sense of fulfillment than I ever imagined. Relationships, at their core, are acts of mutual giving and receiving. There is a particular kind of beauty in relationships that grow with time. My oldest friendships, some spanning decades, have become like old, well loved books, familiar, comforting, and rich with shared history. These bonds remind me of who I was, who I am, and who I aspire to be. At the same time, I've discovered the joy of forming new connections. It's never too late to meet someone who will bring new perspectives, experiences, and love into your life. In the end, relationships are the threads that weave the fabric of our lives. They are what remain when the noise of ambition and achievement fades away. At 75, I hold on to the relationships that have shaped me, nurtured me, and sustained me. They are my anchor and my joy, reminding me of the profound truth that we are not meant to walk through life alone. If I could offer one piece of advice, it would be this: cherish the people in your life. Tell them you love them. Spend time with them. Be present with them. Because in the end, it is not the things we accumulate, but the relationships we nurture that leave the greatest legacy. These connections, rooted in love and strengthened by time, are the true measure of a life well lived. 5. Finding joy in simplicity. As I look back on my 75 years of life, I've come to realize that the greatest joys are often found not in what we acquire, but in what we choose to appreciate. Simplicity, I've discovered, is not about deprivation. It's about uncovering the richness of life by stripping away its excess. It's about seeing beauty in the ordinary and finding fulfillment in the moments most people overlook. When I was younger, I believed that happiness lay in achievement, success, and material possessions. I worked hard to buy a home, accumulate things, and check off milestones that society deemed important. And while these brought moments of satisfaction, they often left me wanting more. The truth I learned much later is that the pursuit of more never ends. The real contentment comes when we stop chasing and start embracing. Living simply begins with a shift in perspective. It's about understanding that joy doesn't come from what we own, but from how we live. I've found immense happiness in the small rituals of my day: a quiet cup of coffee in the morning, the soft light of a sunset, the feel of fresh earth beneath my hands as I tend to my garden. These moments, simple as they may seem, hold a depth and peace that no possession could ever match. Simplicity has also taught me to focus on what truly matters. In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to get lost in the noise. But when we clear away the clutter, both physical and mental, we make space for what brings genuine meaning to our lives. For me, this means nurturing my relationships, spending time in nature, and pursuing activities that bring me peace and joy. It means letting go of obligations and expectations that don't align with my values and instead devoting my time to what feels authentic and fulfilling. There's a kind of freedom that comes with simplicity. By letting go of the need to accumulate, I found myself living with less but feeling like I have more. I no longer measure my life by the things I own or the accolades I've received. Instead, I measure it by the moments of connection, the laughter shared with loved ones, the satisfaction of a task well done, and the serenity of a quiet evening spent in reflection. Gratitude plays a central role in this journey toward simplicity. Each day, I take a moment to reflect on what I'm thankful for: my health, my family, the natural beauty that surrounds me. Gratitude shifts my focus from what I lack to what I already have, and in doing so, it amplifies my sense of contentment. It's a gentle reminder that life's greatest blessings are often the simplest ones. I've also learned that simplicity is about living with intention. It's about making choices that align with your values and bring you closer to the life you truly want to live. For me, this has meant saying no to unnecessary commitments, spending less time on things that don't matter, and prioritizing experiences over possessions. It's meant choosing quality over quantity in every aspect of my life, from the relationships I invest in to the meals I prepare. Each choice I make with intention brings me a step closer to a life of peace and purpose. At 75, I no longer feel the need to impress or prove myself. I've let go of the idea that success is defined by how much I do or how much I have. Instead, I find success in the moments when I feel truly present, when I'm surrounded by love, or when I experience the quiet satisfaction of simply being. This shift has been transformative, allowing me to live with greater clarity and joy. Simplicity, I've come to understand, is not a destination, it's a way of being. It's a lens through which we see the world, a practice of appreciating the beauty in what's already around us. It's about slowing down, letting go, and living with gratitude for the life we have. At this stage of my life, I feel lighter, not because life is without its challenges, but because I've learned to navigate it with a sense of peace and purpose. The joy I've found in simplicity has enriched my days, reminding me that a meaningful life is not about what we accumulate, but about how we choose to live. And in choosing simplicity, I've found a life that is deeply fulfilling, profoundly beautiful, and abundantly rich in ways that truly matter. 6. Embracing change. Change is a constant companion in life, yet for many years, I feared it. Like a familiar home, the routines and habits I built felt safe and comforting, even when they no longer served me. At 75, I've come to understand that change is not something to resist or fear. It is something to embrace. Change, in its many forms, is the gateway to growth, renewal, and the possibility of discovering joy in unexpected places. In my youth, I often tried to control life, clinging tightly to plans and expectations. I believed that if I worked hard enough, planned carefully enough, I could shape my world exactly as I wanted it to be. But life has a way of humbling us. It throws challenges and surprises our way, shattering the illusion of control. The passing years have taught me that trying to hold back the tide of change is like trying to hold water in my hands. It always finds a way to flow. The most profound lesson I've learned is that change is not an enemy, but a teacher. Every transition, whether welcome or unwelcome, carries with it the opportunity to grow. Some of the most difficult changes in my life, losing loved ones, moving away from a familiar place, or accepting the physical limitations of aging, have also been the moments that deepen my understanding of myself and my resilience. Each of these experiences taught me that while I cannot control what happens, I can control how I respond. Embracing change begins with acceptance. It's not about denying the sadness or fear that often accompanies change, but about allowing those emotions to coexist with hope and curiosity. When my body began to slow down and tasks I once took for granted became more challenging, I mourned the loss of my youthful vigor. But over time, I learned to honor what my body could still do, to celebrate the gentle pace of a morning walk, the strength of my hands as they tended to my garden, and the simple pleasure of rest. By accepting the changes in my body, I found gratitude in what remains instead of dwelling on what is past. Letting go is another essential part of embracing change. Often we hold on to the past out of fear of losing our identity, fear of stepping into the unknown. But the truth is, clinging to what was can prevent us from fully experiencing what is. I've learned to let go of outdated dreams that no longer align with who I am today, of roles that no longer define me, and of the need to be who I once was. In doing so, I've made room for new possibilities, new joys, and a renewed sense of purpose. Change has also taught me the importance of adaptability. Life, I've realized, is a series of seasons, each with its own beauty and challenges. Adapting doesn't mean losing yourself. It means allowing yourself to evolve. When I moved from the home where I raised my children to a smaller, simpler place, it was difficult to leave behind the memories etched into those walls. But I've come to cherish the coziness of my new home, the ease of maintaining it, and the freedom it gives me to focus on what truly matters. Adapting to this change allowed me to step into a new chapter of life with grace. One of the greatest gifts of embracing change is the discovery of unexpected blessings. When we let go of resistance, we open ourselves to possibilities we might never have imagined. I've learned new hobbies, made new friends, and found joy in things I once overlooked, all because I was willing to step outside my comfort zone. Change, I've found, is often the catalyst for growth, leading us to places and experiences we didn't know we needed. At its core, embracing change is about trust, trusting in the flow of life, trusting in our own strength to navigate uncertainty, and trusting that each new chapter holds its own treasures. It doesn't mean that every change will be easy or that every loss will be without pain, but it does mean that we can face change with an open heart, knowing that it is an essential part of the journey. At 75, I no longer view change as something to be feared. Instead, I see it as a reminder of life's impermanence and beauty. Change keeps us alive, keeps us growing, and keeps us connected to the wonder of the world around us. By embracing it, we not only honor the flow of life, but also open ourselves to the endless possibilities it offers. In every change, there is a lesson, a gift, and the chance to begin anew, slowing down to live fully. If there's one truth I've come to embrace after 75 years, it is this: life is too precious to rush through. The hurried pace we often set for ourselves in youth, the endless race to achieve and accumulate, blinds us to the beauty of the moments unfolding right before us. Slowing down is not just a choice, it's an act of self-love and reverence for the fleeting gift of time. Slowing down doesn't mean doing less. It means living more deliberately, with intention and presence. When you slow down, you start to notice the things you once overlooked: the gentle rustle of leaves in the wind, the way the morning light dances through your kitchen window, or the warmth of a loved one's hand resting in yours. These seemingly ordinary moments are where life's most extraordinary joys reside. At 75, I feel lighter, not because life has become easier, but because I've learned to let go of the things that weigh me down. I've stopped measuring my days by how much I accomplish or how far ahead I plan. Instead, I focus on the quality of each moment, the depth of each connection, and the peace that comes from truly being present. I've learned to hold on to what matters: love, kindness, gratitude, and the simple joys that make each day meaningful. Slowing down has been my way of rediscovering myself. In the quiet moments, I've found clarity about who I am and what I value most. I've learned to embrace the ebb and flow of life, trusting that not every moment needs to be filled with activity or achievement. Sometimes, the most profound experiences come from simply being still, watching a sunset, listening to the rain, or reflecting on a life well lived. My journey to a slower, simpler life wasn't without challenges. It required letting go of the need for constant productivity and accepting that it's okay to pause, to rest, and to savor. It meant shedding the societal pressure to always do more and instead choosing to be more present, more grateful, and more attuned to the world around me. I hope my journey inspires you to find your own path to a simpler, slower, and more fulfilling life. Embrace the small moments. Seek joy in the ordinary. Let go of the rush and allow yourself the freedom to truly live. Here's to embracing the years ahead with grace, gratitude, and joy, to finding peace in the present, and discovering that life's truest riches are often the simplest ones. May you walk your days with an open heart, a clear mind, and a deep appreciation for the beauty that surrounds you. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.